Now, JetStar came out with a new white paper with a lot of utility details, and one of them was star staking. Now, star staking had its own benefit in the light paper, where I had also done a video with an Excel sheet showing the calculation of how much you could actually expect in KRED rewards when you stake your JED. Well, things have changed pretty much to a large extent from that point of time. So, the old calculator or the video that I had done is no longer valid. Let's have a look at the new staking calculator and are the benefits really worth it? Let's discuss on the same. So as you can see in front of you, this is the new star staking calculator. So this will give you a rough idea of what amount of rewards you can expect in CRED, in USD, as well as how many days you can actually decide to stake based on the amount of JET that you want to stake and the APY percentages that you would get. Now I'll also tell you about the difference between APR and APY. So do watch the video till the end. If you're new to this channel or you've been watching my videos but still not hit the subscribe button, I would suggest that you hit the subscribe button. Well, it's free of cost. Star staking has various seasons based on the volume of trade that would happen in the coming days. So this is a pretty good approach in my opinion, because earlier if you had a look at the star staking calculator that I had done, it had some huge amount of rewards which was very much enticing, and I was really happy to look at the rewards. But later on, the team decided to probably cut it down to a very large extent. But are they really worth it? Well, I would say definitely yes. And the main reason for this cutoff in the percentages or the amount of credit that was actually given out was for the fact that they want to preserve the sustainability of the entire credit reward system. If paid out in huge numbers, would only result in a massive sell off on the chart. And that's really not good when you're actually a company trying to build up from beginning and having a lot of utilities that you want to present to big venture capitals or bigger projects that are out there who may be potential partners for JEDSTAR. They can also be certain companies which are into gaming, since now esports is a new factor that JEDSTAR is exploring. I've also done a video on KD Arena where you can organize tournaments and win cred. Now, this is a platform which is really unique and I like the business model. So do go ahead and check that video out. Now, I'll leave the link to this task taking calculator in the description box below. Let's have a look at the tiers and what you would get for the respective amount of JED that you stake. Between 1000 to 10,000, you have option of staking it to 30 days and you get an APY of 8%. Then 5,000 to 50,000 JED gives you an option of staking up to 60 days and gives you 14% APY. Between 8,000 to 80,000, you would get an APY of 25% provided you stake it for 120 days. Now, 120 days is the only maximum period that is available right now for staking. There is always an overlap between the staking tiers. Now, between 1000 to 5000, you only have an option of just 30 days. However, if you're doing it more than 5000 JET tokens, that is, then you have two options. You can go for 30 days or you can go for 60 days. Now, when you again go for 8000, which is again in between the range of the second tier as well, you get two options. You can go with 60 days or you can go with 120 days. Now, the APY percentages are pretty interesting because if you look at it, 8% is what is offered and it suddenly jumps by 6% to 14% if you go 30 days more. That's to 60 days. You get up to 25% for 120 days. 80,000 is actually fixed. The main reason here being to ensure that the benefit maximum is given out to people who are holding lesser amount of JED. When you have a staking pool established, you do not ideally have a top capping in most of the projects, or even if they have a top capping, that's pretty much viable or probably easier for a lot of whales to get in. Now, limiting that amount of tokens that you can actually stake, as well as limiting the time period, that ideally would give a lot of opportunity for people who are holding less amount of tokens to go ahead and participate in the star staking and still get some good rewards. Now, why is it that I say these are good rewards? I mean, you can obviously say 8%, 14%, and 25%. This is peanuts. And you can also argue there are staking platforms which offer you APR of 200%, 300%. Now, why is it that I'm actually getting APY of just 25% for the same time period of 120 days? The biggest difference over here is between APR and APY. They both work in two different ways. The biggest difference in crypto for APR and APY, APR being a variable and APY being a fixed value. Now, when I say APR is a variable in crypto staking pools, generally, if you look at it, these APRs will be pretty ridiculous. They might be in even thousands of percentages. However, that only depends on the total volume locked in that particular staking pool, and the percentage of APR keeps reducing as and when more and more tokens get locked over it. So, what ideally happens is you might gain a lot when you are the initial person who is staking into the staking pool. However, down the lane, your rewards percentage will obviously dwindle down. APY, it doesn't happen that way. When I say an APY of 25% for 120 days, that means 25% is the yield that you get per year. Divided by 12, that's the total number of months in a year, and multiplied by 3 because 3 months ideally is considered as 120 days. So you could do the math and find out percentage for an APY of 25% for 120 days, giving a nominal value of say 25,000 JED. And let's say I want to stake it for 120 days. You can see that I have two options, 60 or 120. Now the APY keeps changing according to the time period that you have chosen, and you can see the amount of KRED rewards of 25.6 million. The value in USD is based on the current price of KRED, so that's $200 as against the current value of JET of 25,000 tokens, that's around $2,183. If you look at it on a base percentage, you're ideally getting 10% of your investment in just 120 days. Show me any bank or any financial institution who could do this for you. Now, the value in USD might definitely change over here, owing to the fact that the price of KRED and JED might not be the same that we have today when we are doing this calculation after 120 days. So consider that. And in the end, you also have a conversion factor for JED and KRED and vice versa. Now, this is a table just for you to do a simple conversion based on the current price between JED and KRED. So I put in 25,000 over here. So at the current price, I can get 279 million. And what would be the rewards that I would be getting? That's around 25.7, almost close to 9%, I would say, of what you are initially investing. So pretty nice. I'll be getting 2,297 JET tokens as rewards for 25,000 JET tokens that I'm staking. Now you may think, referring to the older calculator that I had shared in my earlier video regarding the rewards, you would have got somewhere close to around 21 million KRED tokens within a span of 30 days, keeping the details that was shared in the light paper. And now you're getting 25 million KRED for 120 days. So you're waiting 4 times more than what you had to wait as per the earlier calculator. And do I really feel that this is worth it? In my opinion, this is totally worth it. I think it is good that the team took a decision which is really hard, but still pretty good for the entire ecosystem of reduction of rewards when it comes to star staking. The first and foremost thing that I want to quote over here was, instead of having that much amount of KRED given out as rewards, it is much better to utilize the same amount of KRED in some or the other way to build the ecosystem, or probably provide more liquidity on KEX or any other medians. Now with KD Arena, that is where the game changed, I believe, when it comes to star staking, because KD Arena is one more portal which requires KRED to operate, and people who want to advertise on this portal or hosting tournaments, in fact, they still need to buy KRED, because KRED is what will be given as a reward to all the players who are winning the tournaments. So keeping that factor in mind, if a lot of KRED is given out as rewards, then we might have been left out with the lower liquidity to operate once KD Arena blows up. KD Arena, which is planned to launch in the middle of Jan or towards the end of Jan, is something that might blow up, and we might see a lot of activity happening over there, which does require a huge volume of KRED tokens in transaction. So keeping all this in mind, I think it's a pretty good move, in my opinion, for the current situation. The price of KRED is definitely bound to increase. And when you have that much amount of KRED given out as rewards, do you really think that people would just sit back and enjoy seeing the price grow? They would definitely sell. So nothing absolutely wrong in that, in my opinion, because yes, we are all here for money. A huge sell-off would have definitely happened if the rewards themselves were given out huge at the beginning itself. Now one may argue, okay, being a long-term holder of JED, probably it might have been good that you get the benefit of that much of KRED tokens. But let us all be very frank and practical. Even if you are a strong supporter of JED, at some point of time you will definitely sell your tokens. If such huge amount of money is thrown out within a short span of time for JEDSTAR to recover that amount of money or probably have those rewards accumulated for the next cycle, then it would be very difficult. So for JEDSTAR to actually evaluate the current market conditions as well as build a strong revenue base so that it supports not only just the ecosystem but also the staking pool rewards itself. I believe once we have that achieved, we might see some better rewards from star staking in the next season onwards. But again, it's all speculation right now because anything can happen in the next 120 days. We might also see that the KRED price skyrockets, and whatever rewards that you're actually getting right now in USD value might also be very beneficial for you. Do you think that star staking is a good return of investment? Let me know in the comment section below. If you ask my opinion, well, my strategy is totally different, and according to me, I guess the rewards are pretty good. Amount of rewards that you're getting is in KRED tokens, not the dollar value. It's against the ratio of JED and KRED. So for one JED, how much KRED tokens are worth, that much would be given out as rewards at the time of star staking. So that's a fixed reward, by the way. So in that manner, since you're getting KRED tokens, the value of the token can anytime increase. So that totally depends on the market. So that's it about the new star staking that's going to come out pretty soon. This calculator is an indicative one. The number of slots per tier that is given out based on the amount of JED that you want to put in is limited. Since the highest amount of tokens will have the less number of slots, will definitely be a mad rush. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know your thoughts on star staking rewards in the comment section below, and like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Again, it's free of cost. So this is Mr. Aslan signing off. Meet you in the next video. Ciao.